When you use a musical portion, this little part right here is what's called mute groups. It's a way of hitting a single button to turn off a grouping of microphones. It's very simple to use. The only one I programmed is number 4, which will mute the effects. Turned them off. Okay? So to use that, let's mute the effects. Let's go to Fader Bank A, which is your top row now. It would be setup number 1. Let's say we want to do all the plate inputs. So you hit the select button of all the plates, setup button, and now that will mute all of those.
Interesting.
Okay? So we can leave that one programmed. That's fine. Or you can change it however you like it. If you want to manually turn them off, that's an on-off for every channel. Okay?
With the way the system is currently set up, when would we need to turn off microphones, really?
If no one's standing there.
Okay, so that's just the advisable thing to do.
You should always, it's an actual audio calculation called the NOM, N-O-M, number of open microphones.
Okay.
Determines your gain before feedback.
Okay.
Okay? So if you limit your number of open microphones, the more available gain before feedback you have.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm
So,
starting the video, so that one has that.
you know,
Yeah.
if
Can you hold it?
Yeah, thank you.
hands wearing out. So if Pastor's the only one speaking and he's on the wireless, that's the only thing that should be up. Everything else should be down.
Well, I'm thinking like a typical service, we use both the lectern and the pulpit, and
Right.
we use the choir mics.
Okay.
So like, and he sings in the choir, so he goes from the pulpit, and he has his wireless on, so.
If he goes to the choir to sing,
Yeah.
turn off his wireless. Otherwise he'll be louder than everybody.
But usually I turn it off on the belt
You
pack.
hit the
That's
switch.
that's the way I do it now. But
Yeah, you can, either
Right.
or. So here's one interesting thing of note, however. Even though that's down, it's off in the house, right? So we can't hear it. If we go to choir and bring that up, it functions.
Okay.
The only way to make that not route to the choir when it's not being used is to turn it off. Now it doesn't function.
But the choir ones won't unless you put these up.
The choir's not functioning right now unless I turn that on. Check. Now it's functioning. Okay? So basically, I would get in the habit, if it's not being used, turn it off. That way, it's off everywhere. Okay? Including, like, in the nursery, you know, you have your lav mic on. Let's say he has a lav on, but you have him pulled down there, and he goes to the bathroom. Nursery will hear the flush.
even if I've turned off the transmitter.
If you turn off the transmitter, you're good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, choice is yours as to how you want
Right,
that to
right.
function.
Yeah.
Either from the board to mute you,
Right.
or turn off your belt pack. If
Yeah.
if you've been turning off your belt pack and you're in that habit, just stay with it.
Yeah.
You know, I would say the majority of the time, do you typically preach from the center?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you don't really preach from the pulpit?
No.
Somebody go up and do announcements or anything like that from lectern
Yeah.
in the morning?
Sometimes.
Okay. So you
And then the scripture
basically
readings.
exactly.
He's all over the place.
No control for you, huh?
I gotta have room to do my stretches.
There you go. All right. So basically, so you're saying a typical Sunday morning for you would be pulpit, lectern, and he's going to have
A wireless.
a wireless. Which one are you normally going to use?
Well, I use the one that used to be labeled 3.1.
So they're
Whichever one
labeled
that
1,
is.
2 now, so pick a number.
I'll use 1.
1, there you go. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to set up a queue that's labeled Sunday. So Q list, he typically is saying uses.
And we use the choir mics too.
Now, no problem on the choir. Now, do you, so if I do 1 lavalier and number 2 handheld, you use the handhelds at all?
No, rarely.
All right, no problem. So we'll do this. So he's going to be using lav number 1. So bring up lav number 1 to just slightly below the 0. Bring up pulpit and lectern to slightly below 0. And bring up choir to below 0. There you go.
Because we like to live in the Arctic.
Turn back down. We'll make that adjustment. Give me a second. Oh, did I only save it to 1? All right, hang on a second. Let me make a change here. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one either.
Hey, Eric, I'm going to hand the camera to you because you have a better angle. Pass it back and forth.
Let me make this change here. I remember what it was, so we'll be okay.
Yeah, for half the service, you stand in the choir area.
Yeah.
Hey, Pastor? Yes, sir. Would you mind going up and standing to underneath the choir microphone on our side?
I'd be happy to.
I tuned these yesterday, evidently I forgot to save it. Okay, that's good, Pastor. All right, so I'm going to show you a cool functionality here. All right. Copy paste. Select. Hold down that and press the select button of the other choir mic. Press good. Make sure you're pressing it. Good. Oop, it just copied to the other one.
That's cool.
Okay, so now both the choir mics are hot. Let's bring up pulpit and lectern again, please.
All right.
Okay, and wireless number 1. Okay, now come back to this. Let's update that one. Yes. Now, to store that, like we're just going to call it Sunday service. Store. Unnamed snapshot. See that?
Yeah.
Okay. So we want to rename it, so hit Edit Q. And then its Q name is already highlighted up top. Press the encoder knob right there.
Yes.
And label it Sunday.
Just backspace.
There you go. Yeah, it's they're made for monkeys hitting it.
Yeah.
It's got a touch screen. It's okay.
Oh, it already was caps. Okay.
Yep.
Second.
And apply. And hit menu. Q list down there. That's labeled Sunday.
Cool.